Well, today is Subaru Garden Dayz at Capital Subaru, and I am with one of the vendors, Rick Naylor, from French Prairie Perennials and Visualscaping. So, Rick, what do we want to talk about today?
Well, a couple different things. We want to talk about some of the plants that we're going to have there, but we also want to talk about, we're doing two classes, one at 11
Nice.
and one at 1.
Okay.
And we're going to talk about visualscaping, how that works, and we're also going to talk about how to attain 12-month color in your yard so that your beds don't look empty.
Oh, sure. And even in the wintertime, you're looking out from your house into the garden and you're seeing beautiful plants.
Absolutely. And there's so many things that change color with the season. And there's so many things, so many evergreens now that are different and unusual that you can really attain that by just using the right plants and using them in the right location, also by using also the right combination of plants.
Ah, and so you have some of those that you would love to feature.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. The first one we have here is a little dwarf Colorado blue spruce called St. Mary's Broom.
Cute.
Stays very small, 2 feet by 2 feet at maturity, grows very slowly, you know, 1 inch to 2 inches a year. So it's a great plant to use in the front of a bed or along a walkway or something because it stays under control. Gets a little bit brighter blue during the summer. Right now it's flushing out a little bit of new growth, which is blue-green, but it'll turn a brighter blue like a typical Colorado blue spruce would.
Right. And it's so nice because you can use it in a larger landscape or in a smaller one.
Absolutely.
Nice, nice.
Absolutely.
It looks really pretty next to this gold.
Yeah, that's Firefly. It's Picea orientalis Firefly, which is a dwarf oriental spruce. And it's flushing out its new spring color now too, which is kind of a creamy yellow. It'll actually turn more gold during the summer, and in the winter it's also a very bright gold. Again, a plant that grows very slowly, doesn't get super big, kind of in that intermediate range of 6 to 8 feet.
Wow. And you can put in full sun.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Wow. Stunning, stunning.
Yeah.
And then what else?
This is
Ooh.
Sciadopitys vericillata green star,
Wow.
which is a dwarf Japanese umbrella pine, which how you can identify it is by the needle. The needle is a lot thicker than the species is itself.
Okay.
And it also has a nice variegation on the underside of the needle. But again, a plant that grows very, very slowly and very dense, not real wide, 2 to 3 feet wide, again, 8 to 10 feet tall at maturity. But you know, that's a 20-year size.
Wow,
So,
wow. And they're so cool. And most gardens can't have the species because they're so big. So to have
Absolutely.
a smaller one would be very interesting to have.
Absolutely. It's also a good container plant.
Nice.
And we'll have some smaller ones that you can plant in a container and watch them grow.
Wow.
And so we're also having these at a really good price on these down at the show. So
Wonderful.
but it's something really unusual. You don't see them very often, so it's nice. Something that kind of sets your yard apart, which is the whole theme of visualscaping.
Definitely. And I know that you love to add in Japanese maples to the landscapes you design.
Absolutely, because of the 3-season color. This is a shirasanum called Autumn Moon,
Beautiful.
which comes out pumpkin orange. Retains a lot of the orange in it through the summer. Gets a little more chartreuse and gold in it. And then in the fall goes back to that bright pumpkin orange with a little red mixed in it.
Beautiful, beautiful.
But it's a tree that is going to grow more wide than tall, and it's one that you can keep under control by pruning, but you know, however you want it to look. But it's going to have a really big head on it when it gets fully grown. So.
Very nice. And then really this is on the opposite end of Japanese maples with this dark foliage.
Right, this is Acer palmatum rainbow, which the new growth will be pink and kind of this wine color variegation. And so you get a mix of colors with it, and in the fall it's going to be a combination of pink and orange.
Wow, wow. So just the small collection of just texture and foliage, and then you have flowers. So you add flowers in too for more spot of color.
This is a dahlia just to make a point how you can use your seasonal color, but also have your beds look full in the winter. So what you do is you just kind of use your evergreens as a foundation plant, and then you can mix in your color. And when this is gone, you've still got some all-season color in there.
Right, right.
So it's really a combination. It's a mix, but you want to make sure that when you look out in December or January that the yard still looks full and not bare.
Right.
And still has a lot of color, and that's how you can do that, by just using some different types of evergreens mixed in with your seasonal flowering stuff.
Wow. Also many good tips. And you know, Rick tells us this every time we come to visit, but if you come to Capital Subaru today, and you can come to the classes, they'll be at 11 and 1, and Rick can really tell you more about the plants that you can have in your own garden. Thanks so much.
You bet. Thank you.